this is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know that sounds really generic, and it sounds... Almost trite, but the blocks were made up front. Offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Hurts to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Hurts. And a big loss here as he's taken down. George Karlaftis. What persistence, and that persistence pays off. Tracks him down for a 19-yard loss. Here is 3rd and quite a ways. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
A handoff now for Pacheco. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 67 yards rushing for him now to this point. To play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. They go play fake. Mahomes. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Mahomes sliding out of the pocket. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. That's caught right side by Worthy. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. He's got a man. That's Marshall. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Mahomes to throw once more. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
On that snap, he's the hero of his defense after the play he just made. A one-possession game, and his hit kept it exactly that.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Marquise Brown, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
The defense is doing their best, but they're struggling right now. They'll look for some help from their own offense to keep them in the game.
Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And it's now 14-0. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it's Hollywood Marquise Brown who finishes it off with the touchdown. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done. When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked up by Nick Bolton. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Xavier Worthy, 40 yards. And the Chiefs continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. The Steelers taking over now late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Got an open man. It's Pickens. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Finding Pickens for another catch. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Now 2nd and 5. to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. And now they're in the hurry-up. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We had 2 great games yesterday, and we're just getting started here. The first of 3 more on this Wild Card Sunday. We'll get back out to you two in just a moment.
A look around the NFL. We'll have to wait for postgame because we are moving right through halftime and on to the third quarter. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. And they have made this look easy. I mean, there's not supposed to be anything easy about the NFL playoffs, but this lead, yes, they're at home, but this has been impressive.
And we hear all the time when upsets happen, teams go on the road, that maybe home field advantages and all it's cracked up to be. But you and I both know the reality is teams really fight hard to get it. Why? You don't ever have to change routine. Everything's familiar going into the game. It makes things easier, and that has paid off for them in a big way in this contest.
It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Again, it's Pacheco. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Throwing now is Mahomes. That's into the hands of Worthy. Down the right sideline. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Xavier Worthy. His second touchdown of the afternoon as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. The extra point up and good. And it is 28-0. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. But first down, Hurts. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Fights forward for only about a yard after the 21.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now fourth down. And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll punt it away for the second time. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Here's Mahomes to throw. Got a man over the middle, Worthy. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. On the handoff, it's Pacheco. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. From the 43, it's 2nd and 3. And they'll run with Pacheco. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 96 yards rushing for him now as he has been a central figure in trying to get his guys to the 2nd round.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now Mahomes. Flush to his right. And Mahomes picking up the first as he slides and hits the deck. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They try with Pacheco. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8. Now a run with Pacheco. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Out is Jake Bates to try the field goal. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. Bates' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So tack on 3 more, though this, it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great, too.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And a throw there. Incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. But not only is his defense pitching a shutout, now they're contributing points themselves. I mean, they have really put together what's almost been a perfect effort here in this one.
I love how you express that. They've absolutely exceeded expectations in this one. And even better than their play, it's been their effort. Even with the win in their back pocket already, every one of those guys is still out there fighting like it's a tie game.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Steelers ready to take over on offense. And they are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far. And they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. And he's able to get up here to the 26. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle him almost.
And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Kenny Clark busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points. Down by 4 touchdowns. Haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start to finish.
And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it'll be 4th down. And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And it's fielded at the 34. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. And Xavier Worthy saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Chiefs continue to run up the score. They lead it big here in the 4th. Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here. This ball will come out to the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But
and he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one. Here's a 2nd and 5. This is Pacheco. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 131 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves, you're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So definitely a good day's work throwing the football. Very good day's work. A 4th touchdown pass as they're really pouring it on.
Yeah, and so much for going into clock mode after getting that touchdown, right? Because you would think with the lead, 4th quarter, they might actually do that. No chance. They've kept attacking and got another touchdown pass as a result.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. Now the Steelers getting set and ready for their next possession. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down and 7. From the gun, it's Hurts. Pickens is there on the crossing route. And a hard tackle there as he'll go down after a gain of about 5. Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Back to throw again. Setting up the screen, Harris. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the 1st down.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys.
But that's caught at the 25. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field.
It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the fourth quarter. And a big deficit, Charles, but they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board? So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well.
And my goodness, another interception. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the score, well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Mahomes going to throw it here. He'll buy some time right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome. Put a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that? Being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Yeah, get to the wild card game. Check. Got that done. Win a wild card game. Big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out there, and they still have an opportunity.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Arrowhead.